what is the likely scenario here with Taiwan? Because it does feel like just in the last 2 weeks, and your book's coming out this week, we have another acute situation on our hands. Is it as acute as it feels? Could this happen at any
really
moment?
Bad.
Yeah,
it's really, really bad.
Scale of 1 to 10.
I think it's like a 9.5.
Oh wow!
The reason is I mean, if you just I think part of the challenge is that it's so bad that a lot of people almost don't even want to think that it's true or really happening.
Denial.
But I think there is a lot of denial because the thought of being at war with China is so unfathomable. But, Winston Churchill wrote in the aftermath of World War II that great wars have a tendency of sometimes happening very suddenly. And he obviously lived through World War I and World War II. So he saw this twice play out in his lifespan. And here, I mean, if you just look at the facts, you have one of the biggest military buildups in the world going on, concentrated in one geographic theater in the Taiwan Strait from China, 350 ships. They are, I mean, as you point out, they have been conducting almost daily incursions in Taiwan's airspace. Xi Jinping is blatantly saying that he wants to unify Taiwan with China. He's 68 years old. So when we think about when he wants to do that, it's probably going to be in the next 10 years. And the defense minister of Taiwan says that it could be as soon as 2025. So if you kind of take those facts and think, gee, if these people are actually right, if Xi Jinping, if we're going to believe what he says, and if we're going to believe what the Taiwanese Minister of Defense says, that means that we, the United States, have less than 24 months to decide whether or not we're going to do anything to prevent and deter a potential Chinese invasion of Taiwan. That is a really unattractive position to be in. But a position that's even worse is not doing anything. And then the choice that we face is, okay, China, we wake up one morning and China's invaded Taiwan. And then we either basically send our own troops in to throw the Chinese out of Taiwan and we're at war with China, or we don't do anything at all. I think if people that want peace and that don't want to go to war with China basically have two options. Either we don't do anything at all and we just accept it, or we prevent the invasion from happening in the first place. And the way to do that is to deter it. I think, the old saying of you have to be respected by your allies and feared by your enemies is true. I don't think that being inoffensive and unprepared is going to be our ticket to peace and safety in the Asia Pacific. And I think Xi Jinping is proving that every single day.
Yeah, and people seem to underestimate the size of the coalition that would oppose China. So China seems very scary because they have been had a pretty amazing run the last 20, 30 years in building their society, advancing their society. But if you just look at the tonnage of our navies, at 3.5 million tons, China's 700,000 tons, we kind of dwarf them in terms of our Navy, correct?
Yeah, we have a lot of advantages and cards that we haven't played yet. And I think one of the reasons why Xi Jinping is scrambling to get a lot of things done now is because he sees his window of opportunity narrowing. I mean, he knows that 10 years from now, he could be living in a neighborhood that actually has a much more unified front against his agenda because he sees the AUKUS deal that was signed between the US, the UK, and Australia. He sees Japan
Explain what that deal is. Yeah.
So that deal is basically a deal where the United Kingdom and the United States are going to collaborate to help provide the Australians with nuclear submarines. And that's a really big deal because nuclear powered submarines are kind of our crown jewels in the national security apparatus. It's incredibly sophisticated technology.
These are big chess pieces.
Really big chess pieces. And, most importantly, they sink ships, which is what we need to stop ships from invading Taiwan. And they're really, really hard to target because submarines obviously are protected by bodies of waters around them. And they move around. So they're not easy to strike and they can sink a lot of ships. So And that's exactly what we need in the Taiwan Strait.
And if you were to build a coalition, here we have the United States, Australia, and the UK. UK, obviously a top 5 military and navy in the world. Japan's surprisingly large and slightly eclipses the United Kingdom's. So what is Japan's position here? I know I've been reading the stories of them paying their companies to get out of China, to move their factories. Japan seems also willing to put themselves in harm's way here, from what I understand. They will engage in this defense of Taiwan, you believe?
So they haven't said specifically that they will directly step in to defend Taiwan, but they're kind of dancing around that idea increasingly. So, the Japanese Minister of Defense gave an interview a few days ago, basically kind of tiptoeing around that question, basically saying, we're not directly, we will not, directly step in for the defense of Taiwan, but, here are a bunch of things that we're doing, and we're very, very concerned. The reason that Japan is concerned is obviously because Japan and China are historic adversaries. They do not like each other. But also they share, the Japan knows that if China takes Taiwan tomorrow, the next shoe to drop is going to be the Senkaku Islands, which Japan views as an integral part of its sovereign territory, which China has been incessantly trying to annex. And so Japan also is one of the 17 countries that has territorial disputes with China, and they don't want to see China nibble away at their sovereign territory, and they don't want to see China start to tamper with trade flows in the Taiwan Strait, which Japan relies on. Japan gets 90% of its energy through the Taiwan Strait. So for them, and the last time that a country cut off Japan's power, Japan went to war. So, there obviously was Pearl Harbor. So, I think they are really, really concerned. And my hope is that those concerns materialize really quickly into much, much closer military integration in the Asia Pacific between Japan and the US, because that's exactly what we need to stop China from invading Taiwan.
From websites and online stores to marketing tools and analytics, Squarespace is the all-in-one platform to build a beautiful online presence and run your business. With Squarespace, you can blog and publish content, you can promote your business, you can announce upcoming events or special projects, and you can sell products and services of all kinds and more. No matter what the problem, Squarespace is the answer. They have beautiful templates by world-class designers. That's kind of where they got started, and everybody noticed them. Like, whoa, look at these beautiful designs. But they've added so much functionality since that time, including powerful e-commerce functionality. And everything is optimized for mobile right out of the box. It's got built-in SEO, free and secure hosting, and of course, their 24/7 award-winning customer support. Back in 2020, we decided we'd create remotedemoday.com for founders to pitch thousands of angel investors over Zoom. Well, we purchased the domain name remotedemoday.com and had the site up and running within minutes. From idea to execution in just minutes, and incredible functionality so you can grow with them. And it's been a huge success for us so far. We've invested tens of millions of dollars. I kid you not. So go to squarespace.com/twist for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use offer code TWIST to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. And congratulations to the team for going public on May 19th. What an amazing journey. It's been amazing to watch Squarespace grow and become such a vibrant company. And congratulations on that milestone.